We got another Cirrus here. This one's interesting for firefighters. You can see the parachute did not get deployed. The aircraft is in bad shape. We're going to figure out what happened on this NTSB Final Report, Pahokee, Florida, December 18th, 2023. There were 2 on board, minor injuries. Here's the aircraft, Cirrus SR20, built in 2021, November 875, Sierra Bravo. And here is how it ended up. Substantial damage to the front end, but again, the 2 on board were okay. So the accident occurred during a transition training instructional flight, and the pilot receiving instruction had not previously logged any flight experience in the aircraft, make, and model. The pilot receiving instruction reported on the final approach they entered a side slip to align with the runway. The airplane was stable approaching the threshold, but once past the threshold, the airplane started to drift to the right of the center line. The pilot called for a go-around and controls were passed to the flight instructor. The instructor stated that 20 to 30 feet above the runway, the tail began to swing left to right and he took control of the airplane. The airplane floated over the runway for a few seconds while he used the rudder to compensate for the unexpected gust of wind. The flight instructor stated that the airplane became difficult to control before one wing contacted the runway. The tail structure separated from the fuselage, and the fuselage engine mount and both wings were substantially damaged. Instructor stated that there was no pre-impact mechanical malfunctions or failures to the airplane that would preclude normal operation. So here it is how it ended up. Luckily, it looks like they were in good shape to get out of the aircraft by themselves, but kind of a tough one for firefighters if they were pinned in here. You do have that parachute and that active rocket. So this is from Cirrus. Basically, this is how the cable goes underneath here. So after pulling back the headliner, the best place to sever the activating cable is here, just aft of the baggage door. So we would open up this baggage door here, and we would cut way back here, and we got to make sure that, you know, there is some slack in this cable. But after a crash, you know, this slack could be gone based on the, you know, the shape of the aircraft. But the best place is this area here. Just we have to be careful to keep our heads out of this area here where it could go off. This is from BRS, Ballistic Recovery Systems. The BRS parachute system is the parachute pack. So you want to locate where it's at first. As firefighters, you want to identify where the rocket is and the launch tubes, and then you want to cut the activating housing at the base of the launch tube with a Felco brand cutter. So that's that Felco cutters, and we do carry these. And then remove the live rocket, but we wouldn't be removing anything. I mean, if we had to, we would cut it. If we don't need to, it would be nice to just go ahead and get the people out and then call Cirrus and let them take care of the aircraft. But if we had to, yeah, going through that aft section and just making sure we cut and be careful to use the right cutters, because if not, if you don't have these cutters and you use just any kind of bolt cutters or whatever, you could twist a line, which would cause it to pull and it could activate. So here is the flight instructor information: 34-year-old male, 1,605 hours. And then here is the other pilot, age 39 male, 379 estimated, and then 0 in that in the make and model in the Cirrus. And then here's that airport, Palm Beach County Glades Airport in Florida. Here's what the weather looked like at the time, 12 knots. And the probable cause for this one is the flight instructor's failure to maintain control of the airplane after encountering a wind gust during landing. So tough one. You have the student pilot trying to land it and then trying to switch over at probably a tough spot to switch over. But you pilots can let me know. This is Alfred Amkioni. See you guys next time.